Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate the graduation ceremony of East Leyden High School's class of 2026. We would like to begin our ceremony with our national anthem. Please rise if you are able and join the Leyden Choir under the direction of Miss Stacy Cunningham and the Leyden Commencement Band under the direction of Mr. Jake Walker and Miss Caitlin Wilkes. It is with great Leyden pride that I welcome you here tonight to celebrate this incredible milestone with the class of 2026. I am Dr. Julie Lamb, the proud principal of East Leyden High School. I am filled with joy that we are together this evening. Tonight, we are providing auto-translated captions of the ceremony through the Wordly app to help make the graduation experience inclusive for all families. Please scan the QR code on the back of your program, and we kindly ask that you silence your cell phones. Tonight, we are fortunate to celebrate our graduation ceremony in elegance and comfort here in beautiful Rosemont Theater. I extend my sincere thanks to Mayor Bradley Stevens and the Village of Rosemont as we are able to enjoy our commencement in a perfect setting that can be celebrated and remembered by all. Please join me in showing our gratitude. I would also like to thank Pat Nagel, Rosemont Theater's Executive Director, along with the Director of Operations and the skilled craftspersons who worked behind the scenes. Their special touches add to our ceremony, and we appreciate all that they do for us. Please join me in thanking them. Tonight, we celebrate our amazing group of seniors in front of me who have been taught and cared for by our faculty. It brings me joy to highlight them. Faculty, please stand and face the audience. Thank you for your time, attention, and care you give to our students and school community. Tonight, I would like to specifically recognize two faculty members. First, I would like to recognize physical education teacher, Miss Laura Scafidi. She is retiring at the end of this school year. Ms. Scafidi started at Leyden during the 1994 to 1995 school year and has dedicated her time, attention, and care to serving students and families. Also during that time, she has coached 64 consecutive seasons of softball and volleyball, with a bonus season of basketball for a total of 65 seasons. I sincerely thank her for her dedication to Leyden, and I wish her a wonderful retirement. I will miss you dearly. Second, I would also like to recognize bilingual science teacher and the 2025 Illinois Teacher of the Year, Mr. Victor Gomez. After a year-long sabbatical with the Illinois State Board of Education, Mr. Gomez traveled our state to champion the teaching profession. We are grateful that he will be returning to us next school year to continue to share his teaching talents. The class of 2026 have accomplished so much during their time at East Leyden and have been rewarded by earning a total of over $3.5 million in scholarships from across the country, and this number continues to rise. Congratulations. To the class of 2026, I believe we have made a lasting impression on one another, filled with joyful moments like this one. I was your principal for 2 wonderful years, and I know you were in the great hands as you were freshmen and sophomores with former East Leyden principal and current Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Dominic Manola. We will be hearing from him in just a moment. To the class of 2026, I wish I had more time with you and will forever remember you and your impact on me. Our time together has been a core memory. And now, please welcome Dr. Manola as he gives his commencement speech, You Matter.
Good evening. On behalf of the school board, the administration, and the Leyden faculty and staff, I'd like to welcome everyone to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2026. Wow. It always feels great to be here at the end of the year, celebrating the beautiful Rosemont Theater. And we're here tonight to celebrate each and every one of you. Personally, tonight's a little extra special for me. Dr. Lamb and I talked about this recently, and tonight's graduates, our class of 2026, shared equal time with us as principal. So, when I was asked to share a few thoughts with you, I was more than happy to be here. You see, 4 years ago, and time really does fly, I remember distinctly welcoming you all at the New Eagle experience. We sat in the auditorium, we talked about many things. What you could expect, how to get support, the importance of getting involved, working hard, and being kind. And I looked at each and every one of you and told you for the first time that you matter, that you're all different, how excited we are to have you here at Leyden, and it's those very differences that make us so special. I told you that you're all right just the way you are, that you matter. Tonight, 4 years later, I'm honored to be able to stand up here and remind you of that one last time before you head off into the world and do remarkable things. But before you do that, it's my pleasure to tell you about 2 amazing graduates and classmates from the class of 2026 who truly embody the beliefs that involvement, kindness, and you matter. I'd like to start with Sofia Argueso. Over the years, we've been honored to share the stories of dozens of Leyden students at graduation, and each time, it feels magical. We get to sit down, hear the stories of these amazing young people, and share with them everything at this ceremony. When I sat down to meet with Sophia, it was no different. I asked Sophia about her childhood. She laughed and almost immediately let out that what she remembers most is how much she loved school. She always has. She told me that when she was 2 years old, she would get jealous that her older brother got to go to school. This love has followed Sophia throughout high school and will continue after graduation. She recounted some of the other things she loved as a child: music, art, writing. And while she still loves all those things today, something about music has always spoken to her. Starting in kindergarten, she joined the choir and never looked back. She joined band in 5th grade, taking up the trumpet, and eventually fell in love with theater as well. I'll share more about that in a moment. This intrigued me, so I asked Sophia about her earliest memories with music. She smiled, with fond memories of music always playing at home and at her grandparents' house. She also talked about her Aunt Rosalba and remembered her stories about playing trumpet when she was younger and singing. I guess it's not a surprise that Sophia took off with music from such an early age. The more we talked, the more Sophia shared about her time leading up to Leyden, and while she has so many positive memories, she also remembers many times where she struggled. Sometimes, relating to peers and putting herself out there to get to know others was difficult. She wasn't sure she always fit. I asked her if she still felt that way at Leyden, and she mentioned that sometimes she did, but at Leyden, everything changed. I smiled and asked her more about this. At Leyden, Sophia continued, I was able to connect with such a wide range of people, communities, and spaces, and these connections made all the difference. When I asked about some of her earliest memories of Leyden, she didn't hesitate. I knew I was going to jump into music at Leyden, and I knew I enjoyed theater, but I didn't know how much I would end up loving it. Sophia shared that in 8th grade at Hester, she had an opportunity to see Leyden's production of Little Shop of Horrors, and according to her, I was hooked. She loved it so much that she went back to see it again, twice. When Sophia got to Leyden, she never looked back. Over her 4 years, she's been an incredibly active member of our choir program, singing and soloing in countless shows, bringing home many honors and recognitions for herself and the program. To say Sophia jumped in is an understatement. While I don't think there's any way I could list all these accomplishments, I wanted to name a few. She made the Illinois Music Educators All-State Honor and District 1 Festival choirs her sophomore, junior, and senior years. In her junior year, she was selected for the Illinois High School Theater Fest All-State production of The Prom, which is extremely prestigious, and that same year made the inaugural American Choral Directors Association National Conference Vocal Jazz Choir, where she was one of 16 members from across the country. In her senior year, she topped it all off by being selected once again to perform at the ADCA, this time with the regional choir in the tenor bass choir. And that's not even the whole list. Don't worry. In case you're wondering, Sophia didn't stop at fine arts. She was super active in numerous other co-curriculars, including National Honor Society, Rho Kappa, and Key Club. When we say involvement matters, Sophia understood the assignment. I asked her why she felt so connected to fine arts. Her response was powerful. I don't know. It just means a lot. It's the one space where I can be my true self. I'm not afraid to put myself out there. There were so many great teachers and mentors supporting me along the way, and I made so many amazing friends being part of this program. Naturally, I asked her if there was anyone she wanted to give a shout out, and I couldn't even finish before Sophia yelled, "Miss C!" Miss Cunningham. Sophia didn't even have the words to express what Miss C has done for her, and wanted her to know that she made a difference from the moment she got to Leyden. Thank you, Miss Cunningham, for being there for Sophia. She also wanted me to know how much her family means to her and how much they've supported her throughout all of this. You believed in me that I could do it, and that means the world. When I was struggling, you saw it, you jumped in, and you're an integral part of my success. Thank you. After Leyden, Sophia plans to enroll at the University of Chicago and study psychology. She mentioned that in all the struggles she's had, there's a huge importance on mental health, and she's committed to getting people the help that they need. Sophia, I know you're going to do amazing things helping others. You already do. Congratulations. Next, I am pleased to introduce you to Madison Ortiz. I remember the first time I talked with Madison well, because Maddie and her mom called to discuss her skating schedule and how she might miss school at times due to competitions. Of course, they were extremely on top of it and working hard to be proactive, but I remember thinking to myself, skating? Well, let me tell you, what I didn't know at the time that I was talking to a soon-to-be Team USA synchronized skating superstar. I'll start at the end and work backward. Maddie not only took part, but was a pivotal team member on the first ever Team USA synchronized skating team to win a world title at any level. And Maddie accomplished that feat just last year. I'll share more about that, but first, I want to share about Maddie's earlier days. I asked her what she loved doing as a child, and she said, honestly, I just love skating. She continued by saying she didn't do many of the normal things kids do in elementary school, and even stopped playing softball in 6th grade. Maddie shared that she's always loved school, and that schools come easily to her. Interesting, she continued, skating, on the other hand, didn't come easily. She recalled that early on, it took her a long time to move up levels on the ice, often longer than it did for most of her peers. Sports in general were challenging for Maddie. I asked Maddie more about this, saying if sports weren't natural for you, how did you get into skating? She laughed, eager to share the story. When I was 3, I was watching the Olympics, and my parents kept telling me to go to bed. But I couldn't. I was glued to the skaters. They finally said, if you want to do that, go to bed and we'll come up with a plan in the morning. So, she continued, I went to bed and immediately reminded my parents of their promise when I woke up. They called the Franklin Park Ice Arena, and the rest is history. Mom and Dad, I'm glad you kept that promise. Maddie remembers the early days of skating not going so well. And of course, just as she was really getting into the sport, COVID hit. But something inside of her kept drawing her back to the ice. When many people stayed home or stepped back, she saw the time as an opportunity to get better. And get better, she did. She spent between 2 and 4 hours daily on the ice practicing, along with off-ice work, including training in her backyard, traveling to find rinks that were open during COVID, and tons of exercise and flexibility work via Zoom. What she remembers most about all this work is that finally she had confidence. Confidence in her abilities, in her skills, in herself. By age 12, Maddie tried out for and made Teams Elite Juvenile, the lowest level that could qualify for nationals. She wasn't sure she'd make the team and vividly recalls submitting a video along with her tryout where she was asked the question, "What is your goal?" Her response was simple and powerful. "I want to make Team USA." After that, she took off. By the next year, she jumped from level 1 to level 3, skipping the intermediate level and becoming the youngest skater on the novice level. She joked that she was the youngest by far and that there were others on the team who were literally graduating high school. She was 13. While many people would have been intimidated by this level of competition, Maddie thrived. And to give a shout out to Dr. Lamb, she leveled up. She immediately went to the coach and asked how she could get better and how she could make the juniors national team. The coach's response was direct. She didn't think I could make the team, but suggested I try out and maybe secure a training spot. Maddie didn't think she stood a chance, and in her words, totally messed up the tryout. Well, apparently the coach thought otherwise, because as Maddie headed into Leyden, she was invited to join the elite junior team and once again was the youngest on the team. That's when I first met Maddie, when she and her mom called. had I only known then. Maddie brought that same level of fierce dedication to the junior team and shared that in her first year here at Leyden, things didn't go as planned. In fact, she describes that as the worst in her career, but admits she learned more that year than maybe any other. While that year didn't go as planned, Maddie and her teammates did what Maddie does. She jumped right in, worked hard, and knew she wanted to get better. By her sophomore year, her team took first in the nation and placed fourth in the world, which is incredible, but she wasn't satisfied. During her junior year, her team knew that this was their year, even skating to the iconic Black Swan routine. They had a mantra: skate for the team, skate for yourself, not for anyone else. And skate for the team they did. That year at Worlds in Sweden, they skated their best routine yet. And when the coach came into the locker room and couldn't even speak, that's when they knew it. They did it. They won Worlds. I asked Maddie who her inspiration's been, and without missing a beat, she shared that it's her parents. They've been my biggest inspiration and support, and they have sacrificed everything for me so that I could follow my dreams. They work so much and give up so much for me. I know there's nothing they wouldn't do for me. Mom and Dad, it's clear how much you've done for Maddie. So what's next for Maddie? For now, she says she's retired and plans to head to Boston University and take part in a 6-year DPT program where she'll receive a bachelor's in health science and her doctorate in physical therapy. She thinks she might try to get involved in Boston Skating Club, and she hopes to make the team. Maddie, I have a feeling you'll be just fine. Congratulations. Now, to all of our graduates, I've shared with you the amazing stories of 2 of our classmates, and there's so many more amazing stories sitting in front of us all tonight. You need to know that there is no one right way to do things. In fact, there are so many ways that you can grow, find that balance, and work towards your goals, because we're all different. As I look around this room, I can tell you, we've got a room full of beautiful young people who continue to grow into incredible, different adults. We have artists, we have entrepreneurs, musicians and actresses and athletes and teachers and doctors and engineers and electricians and plumbers. And you know the one thing that's consistent with all of these? They're all different and they're all amazing. As principal, I often shared 3 things that I believe in: involvement matters, kindness matters, and you matter. Tonight, we gather because each and every one of you embodies these beliefs every day, in all that you do, at school, at home, with your team, on stage, in the gym. You understand how important it is to get involved and to be kind. And perhaps most important of all, that you matter. Each and every one of you. You are all different, unique, special, talented, and passionate. And you are absolutely perfect the way you are. And I'm going to say that again. You are absolutely perfect the way you are. So on behalf of all of us here at Leyden, it's been an honor to be part of your journey and to celebrate with you here tonight. We wish you nothing but the best, and remember, no matter where that journey takes you, you'll always be a Leyden Eagle. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Manola, for your kind and inspiring words. Next, I am proud to introduce tonight's graduation speakers. Earlier this spring, faculty nominated students to speak at graduation. And from there, the senior class voted on their top 2 speakers who join me on stage this evening. First, we have Dominic Gannier. who started as a freshman, one of 22 students from Rosemont School. Second, we have Julio Andujar Araujo. Julio started as a sophomore in our multilingual language program. Both have excelled in academics, activities, athletics, and have demonstrated immense growth, leadership skills, school and community service, and kindness towards others. I am so proud of both of you. First, please welcome Dominic Gannier as he shares his speech, Acceptance.
Good evening. My name is Dominic. Thank you, everyone, for being here to celebrate us graduates tonight. Before I begin, I'd like to thank a few people who are very special to me. First of all, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you. My mother, our administration, all our teachers and staff, all the coaches who played a role in my journey, and all of my peers for making our school and my high school experience and my life so wonderful and fulfilling. It is an honor to be speaking to you tonight, and I'd like to compliment all of my 2026 classmates on the work we put in to be here this evening and walk across the stage. It means so much. So I tend to be pretty long-winded, so I'll try not to ramble on this one. Acceptance is one of the hardest things for us to come to terms with. Often in life, there are more things we are forced to accept than we'd like to accept. Awards, recognition, memories, opportunities, stability, success, comfort, joy. We gladly accept these things into our lives, and to a measure for good reason. Those are awesome things to have. However, toil, trauma, regret, setbacks, failures, betrayals, waiting, we try and fail to reject these things. In life, we accept, willingly or not, things that we do not like, things that hurt us. Sometimes we wait for hours, days, months, years, only to find out what we were waiting for will never come. Acceptance is not about sucking it up. It is not about finding the silver lining in a sea of pain. Acceptance is surrender. It is empathy. It is love. It is strength. It is intention. It is shedding excuses and simply moving. It is striving, swimming, trudging beyond and against and through, everything telling you you're less than or that you can't. It is facing the music without an instrument, a voice, or even ears. We must accept things. We must accept that we don't have forever to do something worth doing. See, when I was in 8th grade, I really had the choice to go to any number of different high schools in the area. I know the kids from those high schools, and I knew in my heart that nowhere else would I ever be able to find such genuine, deep connections with others, develop with integrity, such admirable character traits, or have such opportunities academically, athletically, and otherwise to grow than at Leyden. Our school, like every other school ever, has flaws, of course. Those who do not know Leyden intimately tend to exaggerate those flaws because they pale in comparison to the truly enriching, positive, genuine nature and culture of our school. I'm proud to say that I have zero regrets being a Leyden Eagle, and I wouldn't have had my experience any other way. Times are a-changing at Leyden for the better in every way, and I am so grateful to have borne witness to that change and contributed to its happening. We should all accept that going to East Leyden has been something worth doing for all of us. As parents, you should all accept that sending your children to East Leyden has been something worth doing for you. For all the teachers, working here at Leyden has been so meaningful and something worth doing for everyone in the room, being associated with East Leyden. To my fellow graduates, I implore you to accept what has come of your high school journey in this moment. Right now, we all have our caps, our gowns, and our tassels. We are all officially graduates of East Leyden High School. We are Eagles for life, whether you realize it or not, and whether you like it or not. We are all going our separate ways from here on out. Many of us will remain in touch and in each other's lives. Some of us will not. Let's accept, no matter who we are, no matter what happens. Let's accept. Let's surrender to what we did and did not do in high school. Let's accept each other as a community of alumni. Let's accept that these people with us, the towns and the schools we grew up with, are our roots. Let's accept the responsibility to use the lives and the educations we've been given to breathe vigor and color into every day we have breath and into every person we meet. Let's change what we regret. Let's be grateful for and cherish and continue doing and mastering what we do not regret. Let's have the boldness to realize what we do regret and what we should be able to change. Wherever we go and whatever we will do, accept. Surrender to the things out of your control. Strive towards something in this life. Intend on doing something with this life. Let's make life happen instead of letting life happen to us. By all means, let's move. Let's accept that privilege, that gift, to be prepared to enter a life capable of pursuits and passion and energy, to be grounded in our roots here tonight. At the end of this life, which in truth may come when we least expect it, we will think about what we did and did not do. If we can accept the truth of our high school experience starting tonight, whether all 4 years were spent here at Leyden or they were spent elsewhere for a time, obviously we all ended here at East Leyden, nothing will stop us after we leave this ceremony if we can accept all that is. All that is will be, so what can we do but accept? If we can accept all that is, all that has come of the 4 years we spent in high school, whether all of them were spent here or they were spent with clubs and sports, or they were spent doing things that we might not want to do later on, each of us, and if we can accept all that is, all that has come of the 4 years we spent in high school, each other and this shared experience we've had, and this responsibility we share to make something of it with our unique lives and our journeys, starting right here, right now, tonight, then to quote Dr. Seuss and someone very important to me, oh, the places we'll go. Thank you.
Thank you, Dom. Your speech's theme of acceptance is poignant and poetic. Next, please welcome our second student graduation speaker, Julio Andujar Araujo, as he shares his speech, Forward Anyway.
Hey there. Thank you. I want everybody to stand up, look at your, no, I'm doing that, I'm sorry. We never know what life has in store for us. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, since the only constant in life is change, embrace it. My name is Julio Ángel Andújar Araujo, and it is a genuine honor to be speaking here tonight. I truly appreciate your benevolence, and by that, I mean, I appreciate you for sitting here through another speech. But honestly, thank you all for allowing me to form part of this opportunity. It has been a true miracle getting to enjoy high school with everybody and each one of you. Tonight, we gather to recognize the fruition of 4 years of hard work. Tonight, we gather to recognize, to cherish, to celebrate those who have seen us grow to become young adults that we are tonight. And so, let's give it up to the friends, let's give it up to the families, to the faculty, to staff, to everybody and each one of you who has helped us and seen us grow. The school year is finally over. So you better have some plans for the summer, right? An idea about what's gonna happen next. Well, because Because with all this new power and freedom, there's no school schedule longer to tell you what to do or what not. Oh my, I'm sorry. I want you to think about the future. It's not like we haven't been thinking about the future for the past, 6, 7 months or so, but I actually wanted you to think about the future. Take a moment to think what may happen if things go wrong. And hear me out. I mean, look back at all those times when you rehearsed, you practiced, you did everything you had to do, and still life managed a way to step in and change the script. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this to be pessimistic, rather to remind you that we never know what life has in store for us. I want everybody to know, I want to remind you that whatever happens to you in the next 4 years of your life, 5 years, however long it gotta take for you to accomplish the things that you wanna do, it is up to you to take advantage out of those 4 years. Whether this becomes the best time of your life or not, it is up to you. This decision will always be and has always been yours. So this brings me to my next point, adaptability. What is adaptability? Adaptability is the flexibility, the resilience, the willingness to change a stubborn mind for something great, something new, to give up what was previously established and change with a positive mindset. Before I moved here to Chicago, my friends, family, and everybody that I know told me that I was gonna be an outsider just because I have a thick accent and because I have a peculiar personality. But either way, here I am, giving a speech in a foreign country, in a foreign language. This could be anybody and each every of you. In all seriousness, my experience moving here is similar to yours. We all have experienced 4 years of wonder. We've been having moments of up and downs, we've been having moments of struggles, but at the bottom of the line, look around you. We made it, we're here tonight, so let's give it up again. Life isn't about what happens to you, rather what you do with what happens to you. Life is nothing but a trip, a journey. A journey where every detour shapes who you become. And here's the thing about life. Don't let its plans override yours, rather to inform you, rather to take advantage of what happens to you and then just go with the flow. To the class of 2026, let everything happen to you. Beauty and terror, no finish is final. It is never too late, and it will never be too late to start that sport, do that club, do that challenge that you want to accomplish. Just remember, if you get overwhelmed, take a moment, breathe in, and keep moving forward anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Julio. Your speech's theme is heartfelt and inspiring. At this time, I would like to introduce our incredible chamber singers who will now perform This Day under the direction of Ms. Stacy Cunningham and accompanied by Mr. Ian Huddleston.
Once
Thank you, chamber singers, Ms. Cunningham and Mr. Huddleston, for that beautiful performance. Now it is my honor to welcome our school board president, Mr. Gregory Ignafo.
Thank you. It is an honor and privilege for me to speak to you tonight. Before I go any further, a very special thank you again to Rosemont Mayor Bradley Stevens, also a Leyden alum, and to the people of Rosemont. Thank you for providing us with this outstanding theater in which to showcase these fine young men and women. Thank you, Rosemont. Welcome, graduates, and congratulations. And welcome to your family, friends, and all the people who are here to share in this very special and memorable day. Graduates, you're close. I realize that the only thing standing between you and your diplomas is me. Fortunately for you, I promised Dr. Manola that this year I would keep my remarks under 30 minutes. Just kidding. Graduates, I would first like to take a few minutes to talk to your families, those seated behind you. You can listen in, and you should. To those parents, guardians, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and siblings, a little reflection on the journey of these fine young men and women. Here they sit tonight in their caps and gowns as Leyden alumni, and I don't think they've ever looked better. They are proud eagles, ready to start the next chapters in their life. We know how much you cherish them. From the very beginning, at birth, giving them their names, watching their first steps, waiting for their first words. Do you remember the first time they looked at you and said with determination, no? Taking plenty of pictures of them with missing teeth. Perhaps you agonized walking them to their first day of kindergarten. You guided them through the stress over an unwanted meal, their clothes, or a haircut. Through the cuts and scratches, you were there to see them through their crisis. How anxious you were as the clock got closer to curfew time, anticipating them walking through the door. Or over the request to borrow the car, the first job, stressing that everything would be okay. Caring for them never stops. Together, as a family, you share in their dreams and share in their joys. They presented you with challenges and contentment, tears and laughter, perhaps an occasional disappointment, but certainly, most certainly, an abundance of pride. These graduates have come a long way in their young lives, and now, because you were there, because of your commitment, because you cherish them, they are ready to take their next steps. For us at Leyden, it's gone by way too quickly. As we look at them now, like you, we are all beaming with Leyden pride. Okay, graduates, tune back in. I hope that you were reflecting on your family's lifelong commitment to you and that their happiness, their joy, is being part of your life. They will continue to support you. They ask that you continue to strive and set goals, dust yourself off from failures, and grow from the experience. And most of all, they want you to continue to be the happy and caring adults you are today. So yes, as you well know, you did not get here alone. There are so many others to acknowledge who have had a hand in forming your character. Some who have been alongside you since birth, some that you have come to know at Leyden, and some you've never met. But each has played an essential role in your lives. Leyden encourages our students to dream the dream and provides them with the tools and opportunity to live the dream. But there are only a few who have stood up and defended the dream. Would all of those who have worn our country's uniform please stand, if able, so that we may have the opportunity to thank you for your service? Army, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Space Force, where are our veterans? Veterans, please stand. Thank you. You make all this possible. And please remember that Monday, May 25th, is Memorial Day, a day to remember those who have given their lives in the defense of freedom, including several of our own Leyden alumni. And a special thank you to Leyden's community first responders. They are on the front line every single day, protecting us and keeping us safe. Would all of the first responders, police, fire, EMS, no matter what community you serve, and especially Franklin Park Officer Matt Bowles, please stand to be recognized. Thank you to our first responders. Jonathan Guerrero from West and Susanna Carita from East are Leyden's outstanding student board members. Although they are from different campuses, Jonathan and Susanna have collectively brought your student voice to the highest level of decision making. When the Board of Education needs to make a decision about what's best for the kids, we turn to Jonathan and Susanna for their input, and they have represented you extremely well. Jonathan is graduating tomorrow night. He will be attending Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, pursuing a degree in aeronautical science. Susanna will graduate next year. Congratulations, board members, student board members. Graduates, the rest of the people that I will acknowledge have one single common purpose, and that is to provide you with the best possible high school education with an abundance of quality experiences for you to grow physically, academically, and emotionally. If it wasn't for you, the student, Leyden High School simply would not exist. We believe that Leyden High Schools provides the best possible education for our students with a wide variety of opportunities, and that each individual student has unique talents, and those unique talents need to be identified, nurtured, and honed. Although they are small in numbers, their impact is immense. Leyden High Schools enjoys the best team of administrators in any school district anywhere. Administrators, thank you for your vision, passion, and your consistent vigil over our most precious asset, our kids. Thank you, administrators. A major part of the success of these graduates is due to Leyden's outstanding faculty, those dedicated professionals who work diligently to guide these young men and women through their high school careers, who prepared them to be critical thinkers and confident young men and women you see here tonight. Would the East Leyden faculty please stand again and be recognized? Before you is the proof of a job well done. There are many other members of the Leyden family who work tirelessly for the success of Leyden students. No matter what the call, the Leyden support staff was always there, collectively, collaboratively, assisting the entire Leyden community. From an abundance of food preparation, to building maintenance, security, transportation, technology, to organizing the buildings for anything and everything all year long. Remarkable simply doesn't cover their efforts. You've had a big impact on bringing these young men and women here today. Thank you, support staff. Leyden certainly wouldn't be Leyden if it wasn't for all the volunteers, those loyal Eagles who consistently give their time, talents, and resources so young men and women like these graduates can have extra opportunities. Thank you, volunteers. Last, but certainly not least, a very special thank you to your neighbors, the taxpayers. We are very grateful that the Leyden community continues to support the innovative programs for the betterment of our students. Thank you, taxpayers. To the family of these new Leyden alumni, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be part of their lives. We share with you the commitment to excellence for their success, and I hope that we have met and exceeded your expectations. Graduates, I'll leave you with 3 things. First, cherish your families. They were indispensable in getting you here, and they will always have your back. Second, there's a famous quote that says, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. Always challenge yourself to maximize your potential. Don't get comfortable with easy. This is not your practice life. And third, lastly, once an Eagle, always an Eagle. Continue to wear your blue and gold. It starts conversation because there is always a Leyden connection, and that can open doors. Dr. Lamb, Dr. Manola, on behalf of the Board of Education, it is with an abundance of Leyden pride that I accept these fine young men and women as Leyden High School's newest alumni, the East Leyden class of 2026. They bring honor to themselves, their families, and the entire Leyden community. Thank you.
Mr. Ignafo, it is my honor as principal of East Leyden High School to present to you the class of 2026 who have fulfilled their graduation requirements set by the Board of Education for the awarding of the diplomas. Before we begin the recognition of each graduate, we have a special request from the class of 2026. In English, Spanish, Polish, and Ukrainian. Can those students join me on stage right now? I would like to welcome to the stage and present Zanaya Rocket, who will be reading in English, Ruby Manares, who will be reading in Spanish, Gabriela Zujko, who will be reading in Polish, and Kristina Jusz, who will be reading in Ukrainian.
Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2026. We thank all of our families, friends, and educators who are present to honor us tonight. Because this is such a special occasion for each and every one of us, we would like to make this very special request. As the name of the graduates are announced, please hold your applause and cheers so that the names of all graduates can be heard in equal and fair manner. With your help, we look forward to making this the most meaningful and respectful ceremony. Thank you.
Bienvenidos a la ceremonia de graduación de la promoción del año 2026. Agradecemos a todas nuestras familias, amigos y educadores quienes nos honran con su presencia esta noche. Debido a que esta es una ocasión muy importante para todos y cada una de nosotros, nos gustaría hacerle una petición muy especial. A medida que se anuncian los nombres de los graduados, les pedimos que guarden los aplausos y celebraciones hasta el final, para que cada nombre pueda ser escuchado de manera igualitaria y justa. Con su ayuda, esperamos hacer una ceremonia muy significativa y respetuosa. Gracias.
Zapraszamy na uroczystość zakończenia roku szkolnego dla klasy 2026. Dziękujemy wszystkim naszym rodzinom, przyjaciołom i nauczycielom, którzy są obecni, aby uhonorować nas tego wieczoru. Ponieważ jest to wyjątkowa okazja dla każdego z nas, pragniemy złożyć tę wyjątkową prośbę. Podczas ogłaszania nazwisk absolwentów prosimy o wstrzymanie się z brawami i wiwatami, aby nazwiska wszystkich absolwentów mogły zostać usłyszane w równy i sprawiedliwy sposób. Mamy nadzieję, że dzięki Waszej pomocy będzie to jak najbardziej znacząca i pełna szacunku ceremonia. Dziękuję.
Ласкаво просимо на церемонію вручення дипломів випуску 2026 року. Ми дякуємо всім нашим родинам, друзям та викладачам, які присутні, щоб шанувати на сьогодні ввечері. Оскільки це така особлива подія для кожного з нас, ми хотіли б звернутися з цим дуже особливим проханням. Коли оголошують імена випускників, будь ласка, стримуйте оплески та вигуки, щоб імена всіх випускників були почуті рівноправно та справедливо. З вашою допомогою ми з нетерпінням чекаємо, щоб зробити цю церемонію максимально змістовною та шанобливою. Дякую.
Thank you, Zanaya, Ruby, Gabriella, and Christina. I have some final introductions as our ushers and class sponsors prepare our graduates. Our name readers tonight are faculty members, Ms. Carolina Parra Garcia and Ms. Ashley Tucker. Assisting with tonight's ceremony are the 8 class board sponsors. We have Ms. Black Fulton, Ms. Giuseppe, Ms. Gorskowski, Ms. Trinka, Ms. Mikrovich, Ms. Shaw, Ms. Miller, and Ms. Sobieski. Please give them a hand. They are working alongside 6 students from the class of 2027. Serving as ushers, we have Helena Chish, Miley Lopez, Joseph Myers, Alexander Romero, Leila Salgado, and Carolina Slojek. Presenting diplomas this evening are Board of Education Secretary, Mr. James Lima, and Board of Education member, Ms. Katie Bohm. Also, we will have our senior advisory teachers shaking the hands of our students before they walk off stage. Please note that each advisory will flip sides. For example, Ms. Black Fulton's advisory will start on my left. Mr. Boland's advisory will start on my right. This may be helpful as you're following along in the program. And now for the presentation of diplomas.
good. Julie said yes. Okay. Julie said yes. Julie said yes.
For the advisory for Mr. Boland. Robert Aponte.
For the advisory of Miss Black Fulton. Jonathan Agosto.
Jaden Delgado.
Marla Aldana.
Rayanne El Kalshi.
Sophia Bodnar.
Citlali Figueroa.
Angelina Guillen.
Leslie Herrera.
Nicholas Hantash.
Amelia Mishkovics.
Brittany Hernandez Lopez.
Alexandra Menes.
Fabian Wojewski.
Jose Luis Ibarra.
Ariana Medina.
Ruby Larios.
Johan Padilla.
Sofía Ortega.
Chanel Ramos.
Leila Alvarado.
Valeria Rodriguez.
Michael Bogdanovics.
Lucas Sroka.
Yusuf Ait Abdallah Ali.
Christopher Matz.
Haley Cajigas.
Marissa Christakis.
Jonathan Inés Garcia.
David Hernandez.
Sarah Mansour.
Ulysses Vera Ferrer.
Julia Prokop.
Julius Flores.
And now for the advisory of Miss Patricia Carrillo. Damian Bruce.
For the advisory of Mr. Buckless. Angel Almaraz.
Luna Fonseca.
Natalie Chai.
Cesar Jimenez.
Jesus Duran.
Amy Indio Piedra.
Nicole Hernandez.
Maxim Nikoruk.
Jaden Hobick.
Ina Tomenko.
Estefania Jimenez.
Dulce Garcia Martinez.
Lisette Merino Garcia.
Ihor Mironiuk.
Leslie Micaela Martinez.
Frank Moreno.
Victor Krushetsky.
Alexandra Teyes.
Nadia Morawska.
And now for the advisory of Mr. Rob Hammond. Alexandra Manulovich.
Olivia Rajkovska.
John Vilcek.
Zanaya Rocket.
Casper Voitis.
Lynn Tran.
Jacob Zavala.
Jesus Andrade.
Tomás Castillo.
Kayla McGovern.
Angelina Pedraza.
Rocio Grosso.
David Soto.
Juliana Palma.
Jael Velázquez.
Elijah Hernandez.
Maite Alicandro.
Maxim Berlinski.
Yaniris Lazzarini.
For the advisory of Mr. Cook, Jordan Ruiz.
Destiny Taslar.
Ella Sekinovic.
Joanna Vuznika.
Brianna Fernanda Sandoval.
Marlena Price.
Angel Tapia.
Bogdan Trofimchuk.
Victor Vilches.
Victor Magaña.
Michelle Hidalgo.
Jonathan Navarrete.
Marcel Shemek.
Isaac Muñoz.
Joanna Schuper.
And now for the advisory for Ms. Hayes. Manuel Anaya.
Gohan Tafola.
Richard Merle Bartolome Andal.
Benjamin Toth.
Veronika Zhechkoinska.
Marilyn Valois Sanchez.
Angel Gutierrez.
Adrian Rivera.
Angel Luis Gutierrez.
Rodrigo Furlan.
Mylene Lewis.
Love you too. Gianna Martirana.
Isabel Marin.
Julio Araujo Andujar.
Sincere Johnson.
For the advisory of Mr. Hamilton, Selena Santiago Jimenez.
Julian Martinez.
Liliana Pantaleon.
Brandol Verdejo Rojas.
Edmund Mecco.
Diosa Salazar.
Eric Mecco.
Nathan Kaas.
Ryan Rubio Medina.
Andrew Gauna.
Anthony Salgado.
Narita May Nazareno.
Robert Sanchez.
Lance Revives.
Ariana Amen.
And now for the advisory of Ms. Holtgrew. Vladislav Zarutsky.
Cassandra Avila.
Beadine Abidini.
Jocelyn Bravo.
Cristina Alamillo.
Anthony Cavallero.
Adrián Luis Castrejón Román.
Casper Kospchik.
Eileen Gannon.
Valerie Lagunas.
Víctor Martínez Hernández.
Carla Nicasio.
Emily Kafka.
Alexandra Piaczynski.
James Kafka.
Suhaili Cintron.
Alison Briones Marín.
Uriel Cordero.
Alina Magueyal.
Anissa Dawood.
Brenda Oliver.
Christina Juice.
David Martinez.
For the advisory of Ms. Holly Murphy. Olga Krachuska.
Ruby Monarres.
Peter Panchev.
Tina Najimi.
Eliza Mustafa.
Cindy Novoa.
Era Mustafa.
Claudia Prokop.
Flora Tenorio.
Daniela Sarnecki.
Alina Avila.
Leilani Torres.
Samuel Carreto.
Michelle Jones.
Tatiana Delgado.
And now for the advisory of Miss Knight. Anthony Correa.
Jaden Diaz.
Yulia Dovkovska.
Noah Dumais.
Isabella Drabek.
Sienna Martinez Orozco.
Jeremiah Sanchez.
Inez Sanchez.
Anthony Jose Sepulveda Pasos.
Abriano Wolf.
Eric Wordva.
Victoria Segundo.
Adam Jan Jobro.
Vincent Cozy.
Jonathan de la Torre.
Nicholas Cozy.
Gabriela Fuentes.
Alexander Marrero.
Yara Mosen.
Daisy Anaí Terrazas.
Abigail Morales.
Philip Kritovich.
Alejandra Ortiz.
For the advisory of Miss Kinane. Ariana Aguiana.
Jonathan Prifty.
Matthew Catan.
Veronica Sensic.
Francis Butita.
Emily Ramos.
Evelyn Olvera.
Elisa Rivera.
Malin Paracels.
And now for the advisory of Ms. Lashinsky. Diego Esquivel.
Sebastian Vargas.
Jorge Galindo.
Matthew Aguirre.
Valeria Insurriaga.
Jason Betancourt.
Madison Ortiz.
Nevena Doncheva.
Natalia Petrucci.
James McHugh.
Abigail Rodriguez.
Giovanni Moreno.
Isaac Marino.
Brianna Reed.
Eric Moreno.
Kayla Renteria.
Olivia Radchik.
Dominic Ganier.
Alejandro Aguilar.
Jacob Ganier.
Jeremy Castro.
Brianna Salgado.
Sahar Eldin.
Sienna Fowler.
Cherish Striblin.
Daniel Francisco Pascual.
Yair Martinez Lopez.
For the advisory of Ms. Kubechko. Gabriela Bagnoli.
Yolani Flores.
Samuel Calderon.
Nayeli de Leon.
Isabella Camacho.
Jaden Rendon.
Evelise De Leon.
And now for the advisory of Mr. Microt. Yadira Argueta.
Viliana Dimitrova.
Jillian Hedke.
Sebastian Bohenko.
Brittany Merino.
Joseph Dur.
Sarai Molina.
Yuretsi Garcia.
Anessa Muyakic.
Ariana Garfias.
Kasper Piekutovsky.
Melanie Haro.
Alisa Ramos.
Alexandra Petrova.
Trinity Oseguera.
Jenna Kettenbiel.
Aiden Vasquez.
Angela Inocente.
Nathaniel Arias.
Fran Castellanos.
Calvin Vitovic.
Ashley Nicole Cruz.
Angel Cuevas.
Sashari Martinez Alcantar.
Joseph O'Neill.
Serenity Hoskin.
Katerina Bezliepkina.
For the advisory of Mr. Maddox. Suri Silani Caroluna.
Matthews Delgado Zambrano.
Sierra Chiapetta.
Tanaya Johnson.
Ramses Delgado.
And now for the advisory of Mr. Tony Pacucci. Maximilian Pabian.
Olivia Dojic.
Olivia Prokop.
Gustavo Ferrer.
Chelsea Contreras.
Katerina Jajnikevich.
Krista Vanegas Burgos.
Christopher Vargas.
Marie Katsialopoulos.
Allison Dimaranan.
Alexa Cruz.
Darian Gomez.
Jordan Diaz.
Nizar Harb.
Michaela Di Costanzo.
Julian Jimenez.
Jocelyn Jeanette Gill.
Ashley Osagura.
Angelica Katlabi.
Jaime Ramirez.
Jonathan Vito Dibari.
Luis Zapata.
Abby Martinez.
For the advisory of Mr. Morgan. Carl Gilovsky.
Azuel Martinez.
Sean Jench.
Jackson Olin.
Joseph Marin.
Jaden Rayburn.
Yurem Mesa.
Naeja Rodriguez.
Adrian Nevarez.
Salvador Franco.
Janea Noche.
Eileen Arroyo.
Leah Norton.
And now for the advisory of Ms. Shader. Marilyn Gutierrez.
John Novielli.
Isla Cusa.
Luis Olmos Estrada.
Luciano Reeves.
Patrick Pasternak.
Shafali Shah.
Abiha Rafiq.
Elijah Wynn.
Philip Repetowski.
Yurem Corral Chavez.
Abril Soto Romero.
Victoria Perez.
Michelle Trin.
Madison Suba.
Connor Tutek.
Natalie Vicenteno.
Julia Vordewa.
Dominic Sudun.
Eric Ferrer.
Yael Diaz. Erwin Marrero.
For the advisory of Miss Reed. Cordelia Costa.
Ava Gialanza.
Giovanni Davila.
Calino de la Cruz.
Aiden Martinez.
And now for the advisory of Mr. Salar. Luz Valdez.
Jose Patino.
Antonella Rivera.
Juliana Rivera.
Sofia Kulba.
Jonathan Salinas.
Andri Shabat.
Isabella Vasil.
Denis Lopez Carrillo.
Alexander Ventura.
Alondra Aguilera Méndez.
Emilia Villaseñor.
Marianet González Muñoz.
Christopher Garcia.
Daniel Ortiz.
Catherine McLeod.
Carlos Rojas.
Chloe Stevens.
Paola Cepeda Martínez.
Valeria Garcia.
Santiago Higuera Botía.
Melanie Lopez.
Vladislav Kumir.
For the advisory of Dr. Shuitt. Mohammed Hejaz.
Ernesto Rojas Seguí.
Antonio Herrera.
Clarissa Rivera Navarro.
John Martinez.
María Alejandra Chiquiza.
Alize Montalvo.
Emanuel Rojas Camacho.
Sonia Morales.
And now for the advisory of Ms. Stolarski. Sofia Argueso.
Casper Pabian.
Alan Arreola.
Julia Berezowski.
Noeli Delgado.
Josue Pina Hernandez.
Patricia Helsinova.
Avi Rios.
Driana Vega.
Jenna Rodrigo.
Xavier Vega.
Axel Carrillo.
Susana Zemchek.
Alexander Monares.
Isabela Shvedo.
Emily Castrejón.
Amelia Tosterud.
Sofia De Paula.
Olivia Tovar.
Cheryl Lopez.
Georgia Veremis.
Jasleen Visoso.
Oscar Galindo.
Alan Pina Hernandez.
Sofía Gómez de la Torre.
Leilani Arriaga.
David Gutierrez.
For the advisory of Ms. Stockard. Samantha Gonzalez.
Alexa Yanin Mora Cadena.
Emin Suda.
Verónica Pashko.
Eric Blumquist.
Adán Lira.
Giselle Correa Anaya.
And now for the advisory of Mr. Bear Timmer. Olivia Brodowski.
Ryven Del Pilar.
Fernando Garcia Rivera.
Sofia Deporsic.
Gabriela Grandes Alicea.
Luis Guerrero.
José Gudiel.
Jada Jaber.
Lance Mangalinden.
Alexandra Majewski.
Jack Martin.
Elvis Ruelas.
Nathaniel Negron.
Maya Flasha.
Matthew Pish.
Xander Miranda.
Christian Radomski.
Jocelyn Martinez.
Christopher Salinas.
Delani Hernandez.
Nicolas Seach.
Caleb Salgado.
Jaylene Velez.
Arius Jones.
Elena Slatkova.
For the advisory of Mr. Stong, Suki Lane,
Eli Flores,
Adan Moreno,
Scarlett Gonzalez,
Kaden Nikolai,
Jerry Torres,
Joseph Oquendo.
and now for the advisory of Mr. DeJulio. Damian Almanza,
Joshua Oquendo,
Adam Anthony,
Anthony Giangrasso,
Maciek Drag,
Paul Chichiva,
Jacob Sarinana,
Michelle Rodriguez,
Jada Birch,
David Tomaszewski,
Gabriela Cardona,
Gabriela Juco,
Sabrina Diaz,
Cassidy Chahosky,
Mia de Jesus Montañez,
Marcus Jench,
Carlos Eduardo Pérez,
Ryan Richmond,
Vivian Tranquina,
Bisan Tawil,
Kaylee Rodriguez,
Christian Sulka,
William Andre Giraldo,
Carlos Colon, for the advisory of Mr. Holdhouse, Gianna Figueroa, Mateo Benabdallah, Cassidy Kishel, Julia Radzishevsky, Lila Wynn, Shimon Kritovich,
Wow, congratulations! Finally, this evening, I would like to once again take a moment to thank everyone involved in making our ceremony incredible. Thank you for your attention and care. And most importantly, we would like to thank you, our students. Thank you for being who you are and for making Leyden great each and every day. Graduates, I know you will take your involvement, your kindness, and your individuality with you in life and create a path that will continue to make us all proud. As we start the recessional, I ask that the audience remain seated until all graduates have exited. You can then meet them in the lobby. Now, graduates, please stand and face your family and friends. Move your tassels. Move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, class of 2026. You are now alumni.
Amen.